Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Today we're at you with a video on kind of tool hauls from the weekend. This past weekend, as the days are getting warmer and they're pretty long, you're gonna see a lot of garage sales. And with a lot of garage sales, of course, comes a lot of tool sales. So you guys get out there and find some good US made old tools and bring them back to life. Okay, this is kind of a conglomeration, I guess, of different places I went to. I just put it all together. This is probably from a few stops that I went to this weekend, and some of the tools I picked up. This is just some of them, or most of them. Some of the stuff wasn't that great. That comes in a toolbox with a bunch of junk and maybe one or two good tools in it. So I just took those out instead of showing the whole box, which there won't be much to see. So, all right. Before we jump in, if you guys find these videos at all helpful or interesting, or you like tools and old stuff, give me a like and also subscribe to this channel. Okay, one of the tools I found, I didn't know what it was at first, and I had to look up to see what it was, but I thought it was well made. And it was funny because it doesn't have any moving parts, but they did put a patent on it, and the letters are really nice. And on the other side it has, I guess, the maker and a number 3. And for what I can find on this is a Morse taper, a Morse taper drift pin. And I think you guys that know more than me, let me know. But I think that these were used to chuck like drill presses. Like you would put this in a slot and hit it, and it would break the chuck from the Morse taper. Drill press. So kind of an interesting little thing. Looks pretty well made. I just thought that was interesting, and I picked it up and not knowing what it was. And here's a screwdriver, Crescent Home Shop. I think it's 801-6 USA. And this one needed a little work on the tip. The tip looks like it's was damaged a little bit, so I might work on that and get the tip up to speed. And of course, no haul will be complete without a ratchet. I found this ratchet in a set of rusty tools. And let me tell you, this season I call it the Evapor Rust season, because a lot of these tools, you see them, they don't look too bad now. Is because I already dunked them in Evapor Rust. And let me tell you, this is worth every penny. If you don't want to spend hours like trying to scrub the rust off a lot of rusty tools, you just dunk them in the Evapor Rust, and about a day later you'll be good to go for the most part. Here's a Challenger, and these were came under the umbrella of Proto back in the day, and Proto and the subsidiary Penance, this design is more of a Penance design, but it seems like all their ratchets from that time had this number on it, 1260, and it could be totally different design, but a lot of them, I don't know, they love that number for some reason. I'm not sure what it stood for, but if you see a lot of Proto ratchets from this era, they're all marked 1260. And here's an adjustable wrench. You see, it was pretty rusty. I put in the evaporust. It got it out, but it left the pits where the chrome was. So that's what that is. This is a Klein and Sons tool, 500-6, made in USA. Pretty good. Everything's tight on it. Not bad. Just kind of rusty looking. And I found this brake pliers. Here's an old Craftsman brake pliers, WWF maker. This is 945 USA, and this is what it looks like. These were, I guess, back in the drum brake days, these were, I guess, a necessity. I still had drum brakes on my rear tires, and it had these little ends here to I think to de-spring over here, and you would hook the spring over here and that hook and get them out. And a couple of weeks ago, just to show, I picked up these also Craftsman drum brake pliers. It doesn't have a model number, but it has the Circle P on it. And off the top of my head, I forgot who Circle P was, but this is an older model. You can tell by the letters. The Craftsman has the pointy A, and this one, the A's are rounded on the top. So this came out later on. This is like an early one from maybe the 50s or something. And here's a spinner, a 1/4-inch spinner from SK Tools, made in USA, 40954. The typical SK spinner. Here's a pair of slip joints, pretty old. Couldn't see much markings on this. It says forged in USA, but you can hardly see it there. Here you can see it better. It says forged in USA, and it has, you could barely make it out, but you see a badge with a V there. That's Vlecek. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but or Velchek. They were an old tool company that had a lot of car tools and stuff like that. They're pretty old. They date from way back, and it's cool to find tools that you don't know, but they have little symbols that you can look up and find out who made them. So just a little typical, about 6-inch plier. Here's a little hook, and I picked this up just because it says snap on it. And this is 3ASH90A USA, and I like the warning. The warning is funny. It says, warning, not a pry bar, chisel, or punch, and it has the patent number there. Not sure if the tip came like that, but I'm not gonna mess with it, because usually when you try to bend these back, they break off, so I just leave it like that. But it's funny, I just found one snap-on little hook tool. And here's a set of needle nose. This is Craftsman USA, and I guess the maker is C, which again, I'm not sure who C was. Could be Crescent. You guys that use Craftsman guys out there, let me know who did those. And here's a long pair of scissors. Just picked them up. I guess they were in a pile with a bunch of other tools, and they came with a bunch of other tools that were not so great, and I just picked this one out. I don't know, Crane Deluxe. I think my mom had a pair like this way back, not this long, kind of shorter, and they do work. I'm surprised they do cut. And I kind of have a soft spot for these little hand drills. This one's a small one. You see the wheel is pretty small on this one, and it's not very ornate or anything. I think I picked this up for $1, so not too bad. This one says Japan on it, but I like these, and I used to kind of collect them, but I had to stop. Just they take up a lot of space, especially the bigger ones. So I kind of I pick them up every once in a while if I see one for a good price. And like I said, this wheel's pretty small, so you're not gonna get a lot of torque out of it. It's good for like maybe very thin drilling. But I never seen one this small, so that's why I kind of liked it. Here's some wrenches. Here's a Williams box and opened combo super wrench, USA 1165 11/16. Has the forged B letter there. Not bad. Came in a set of tools that this was, I think this and this and a couple others were all that was really good in it. The rest was kind of just whatever. Here's another wrench from a maker that I wasn't too familiar with, but I kind of read up, and if you guys are into tools, I don't know if I have to mention this, but Alloy Artifacts online is like the Bible for old tools and old tool makers. And I never heard of this company, Barcalo, and apparently this was a pretty they were around for a long time, and they made a lot of stuff, but I had no idea. And kind of they had some unique wrenches too, and this one's a little bit unique in that you see how the letters are forged in there, and it's like a indented, and for the name it has a raised part instead, like a little raised plaque, and it's stamped. And then on this, for the sizes, it has little indented forged letters, 5/8 and 11/16. So kind of a little bit unique in that sense. And I did see they had some other unique style ratchets. Here's another set of pliers. These are kind of more on the specialty tool side of things. Here's a set of battery pliers that I saw and I picked up, and the guy who I bought this, he was under the impression that, oh, this is snap-on. I was like, no, it doesn't have the snap-on on it, but I guess he saw the red handles and he thought it was snap-on. I guess he didn't know what he had. Actually, you can see the letters there, it's very faint. It says Utica, and even fainter on the pin there, it has the 3 diamonds for the Utica symbol, and under the diamonds you see a very faint USA there. So this is not snap-on, it's Utica battery pliers. I'm not sure if these are original handle covers. I didn't see one online that had red handles like this. They all seem to come handleless, so maybe these were like dipped or something. They do look pretty good, but I'm not sure if they are original. This one was kind of rusted too, the evaporust, but it still leaves pits. You know, you're still not gonna, the evaporust ain't gonna repair those pits that the rust left. But this one from the jaws, it doesn't look like it got much use. Here's another little wrench that I'm kind of starting to like these little wrenches. These are like old, maybe from the 20s, like those really old original wrenches. It doesn't even have the size on it, and it just has this number, and it has an M with a circle. And if you look it up, M with a circle is more drop forging. So this is an early more drop forged wrench. Somebody customized it. You can see somebody ground the sides over here and a little bit over here. I guess they needed it for a particular bolt or whatever that had little access, so they kind of customized it in that way. And here's kind of a pocket knife, like one of those hawkbill knives. I took off, it just came with one handle. I took off the handle, and the pins were kind of messed up, so I kind of straightened them out because it didn't have any snap to it. And I straightened the pins out, I put them back, and now it's has a snap back. It's made by I-XL George from England, and these knives, I guess they made knives from like the late 1800s or the 1800s or something. This one I can tell is really old. This is probably from over 100 years ago. This knife, when I was looking, I saw a catalog picture from 1910, and they had this identical one in the 1910 catalog. So what kind of amazes me about these old knives, these old pocket knives from like 100 years ago, is how thick the blades are. You see how thick, see the thickness there? These aren't like, I don't know, later on I guess knife makers decided to make knives, pocket knives, thinner. But a lot of the ones I see from this time period, they usually have these really thick blades. You see the spring there, it's really thick also. And it's not brass. I think this was just iron, if truth be told, this lining. And the wood in the catalog, it said Coca-Cola, so it's probably, you see it's cracked there on the inside, so probably Coca-Cola wood and ironed inserts. But I don't know, I kind of liked it. I kind of like these old blades. And here is an Ullman screw starter. This one is for flat tip screws. I should have brought a screw out to demonstrate this, but I guess you guys probably know what this is. You put the screw there and then you press down and it spins, and the thing in the middle that was straight is now on an angle, and that's what holds the screw onto this tip. So if you need to start a screw without having to fumble with it, it'll hold it in place for you, relatively securely. It'll hold it in place, so you can just start the screw like this and screw it into whatever you need to screw it into. But they make them in different, they make them for Phillips too, but this one is the straight one. And on this end it has a magnet, so that's another thing. I guess you can use this as a pickup tool also, because this end is magnetic. And on another sort of specialty tool that I didn't know what it was at first, but then it kind of made sense when I was looking at it. It's an Imperial Eastman Chicago, USA, and this looks over here has the model number 364-FH and patent numbers there. This is a pipe bender. That's what it looks to me. It's like a small pipe bender. I'm assuming from where I got this is an automotive tool for bending pipes on a car, maybe like gas, the gas linkages or little gas tubes. You would bend them to fit underneath the crevices of your car, you know, in case you needed to make your own lines, your own gas lines. So maybe like this, you would have something like this and it would come in handy. You see how small that's, the pipe can't be larger diameter than that, so it's pretty small. And here's another tool. I'm not sure what it is. You guys can help me out with this one. It says ST206 on the end. It looks like old letters. Looks like kind of a wrench, but I never seen one with a opening like that. So you guys who know this type of thing, let me know what this is used for. I kind of just picked it up. It looked kind of cool, but I have no idea what this opens or closes. And the last thing is just this SK Wayne combo wrench in bad shape. This was pretty rusted. I put it in the evaporust, but as I said, evaporust does not restore chewed up chrome or corroded chrome from the rust. So some of it you'll see is still chromed, and some of it it's all eaten away. This is a, let me see, it says forged in USA alloy, and this is from the SK Wayne period, 13/16. Over here has, I'm not sure what that says, something 26, I guess C26, and has the forged letters over here, A and S. So just an old SK wrench that I kind of felt sorry for and just picked it up. So yeah guys, that's some of the stuff I picked up this weekend. Like I said, it's that season, so if you guys are into tools, you know, check out the Craigslist and stuff like that, and go out there and find yourself some tools. They're out there, you know, you just gotta go get them. Alright guys, until next time.